So I actually do get a lot of questions about confidence and self-belief and how to approach training, especially like big lifts, and how to approach PBs and how to believe in yourself more and how to know that when you're going up to a weight that you've never done before, that you can actually do it. Welcome back to my channel. This week we're going to talk about all confidence issues, like self-belief, like how I've managed to change my mindset in order to be able to attack like big weights and like believe in myself a lot more when it comes to training, like actually know, like really know that I can do the weight that I've not done before. If that makes sense. So I actually see the answer to this question to be two parts. So one is the psychological element and the other is the physical element. So let's start with the most complicated one, which is the psychological element. Now, as weightlifting is a strength sport, most people just assume that you just have to be strong enough in order to be able to lift the weights. So you just have to be strong enough to pick it up, put it over your head, and put it back down again. Now, don't get me wrong, strength does play an absolutely humongous role, like a big role in whether you're able to lift that weight. But equally, I think the psychological side plays a huge role, probably equal parts, in my opinion. So here are the 5 tools that I use to increase my mental toughness or self-belief or confidence in weightlifting specifically. But it also applies to like general life. You know, weightlifting is very transferable to a lot of things, you know? Number 1, confront your fears. So you need to get familiar with your fears and confront them. So if you're afraid of dropping to the bottom of a snatch, like if you're scared of like lifting that PB snatch because you're scared of like catching it overhead, do snatch balance, do overhead squats, do drop snatches. If you're scared of not being able to stand up the weight or the weight crushing you, do pause front squats, do front squats. The great thing about weightlifting is it's all scalable. So you're able to pull back from that exercise and see what exercises you can do in order to build back up to that exercise so that you can increase your confidence within that specific exercise. Simples. Number 2, own your strengths. Give credit where credit is due. Like, we are far too quick to criticize ourselves over and over again, like going into a session and walking away feeling frustrated or feeling angry. But there is always something positive to come out of a session. Always. Every experience can provide an opportunity for betterment. I know that sounds super cliche, but it really does. Every time you miss a snatch, you can learn from that. So like one of the things that I used to do a lot is that I used to pull the snatch and then when I get to the bottom, just like be really soft and be really like flew, you know? So I learned that from all of the misses that I made. I would get so frustrated with the fact that I just couldn't like lock it out. But actually all I needed was a little bit more aggression and a little bit like to push back up on the bar a little bit more, and here I am. Snatch 73, bruh. Number 3, set attainable goals and separate your weaknesses. That negativity that we're trying to combat won't just disappear. It's always going to be in the back of your mind. Like, don't ever think that you're gonna magically one day walk up to the bar and it'll be something that you've never done before and you're not gonna think, oh, I might miss this, or I might mess this up, or this is too heavy. Like, that's never going to go away. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. But it's important to identify those feelings and then challenge them in a way that is constructive for you. That's the difference between like a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. So if you identify your weaknesses and you identify that when you're approaching a bar, you're not feeling like very confident, you're not feeling very good, you can probably pinpoint why that is to certain things. And if you can grasp those certain things, go away, think about that, and then come back to training and address those specific things every single session, there is no way that you're not going to get better at that. There is no way that by practicing your mindset every single day, you're not going to be able to soon control those emotions and master them, to put them aside and think, actually, I can do this, or actually, I am strong enough to do this. Number 4 is stop comparing yourself to everybody else. Stop comparing your progress to everybody else. Stop comparing your lifts to everybody else, because every single person is unique. Every single person's journey to success is unique, and it's never ever going to be exactly the same as you. Like, my snatch or my clean and jerk is never going to look the same as yours, and yours is never going to look the same as mine, and that is fine. That is what makes the world go round. Like, if everybody was the same, that would be so boring. Now, yes, we can watch like Lu Xiaozheng lift and aspire to be like him and take points from his lifting which can be beneficial to ours. So he's ridiculously efficient. Like, how does he do that? Is it because he like extends extra, or is it because he's really quick under the bar? And you can use these things to make yourself better, but don't ever think that you will suddenly just be like them. Like, they're not you and you're not them. Be unique and enjoy your process and your journey as much as you can, because you'll never get to experience all of the things that you're experiencing every day, because you'll never be able to unlearn something. You'll only ever be able to learn more and grow more. So enjoy it. Number 5, which is one of my favorites, is look confident. Like, act as confident as you think you need to be in order to make that lift. So I personally love to over-exaggerate confidence. So during my setup, which I'm going to do a whole other video on, so make sure that you subscribe to my channel as well. Let's give this video a big thumbs up to show your support. I'll do a whole other video on like setting up for a PB or setting up in general when lifting weights. I like to over-exaggerate my setup, make myself feel big, make myself feel strong, and just like fully hype myself up and just prove to everyone in the gym, but most importantly, prove to myself that I know what I'm doing and that I'm going in there and I'm gonna absolutely smash it. Like, there's no other question other than I'm just gonna give it 150% of my effort and just boss it. Number 6, because don't we just love a bonus point, is don't fear failure. Failure is inevitable in every single circumstance, and especially in weightlifting. Like, not every day is going to be your day, and you're going to miss lifts. Like, just last week when I was going through a PB, I missed 70 twice before I got it. And just the other day I did 71, I missed it, and I was just like, do you know what, I'm gonna go 73, because there was an opportunity within all of those lifts for me to learn about what I should have done, or how I should change my approach to the weights in order to make myself better, in order to make sure that I am going to perform better than I just did. Because whilst I don't think it's beneficial to critique myself, like, I won't beat myself up looking back like, oh, you missed that. I'll think, oh, actually I missed that and I wonder why. Like, there's so many things that it could be, and it's pinpointing that for you and realizing what that is, and then trying to adapt your approach in order to make sure that you can be as strong and as confident as you need to, like mentally as strong and confident as you could be. Now for the less complicated physical side of confidence, which is like a super easy one to address, I personally think. So these are basically all of the exercises that you can do in order to be able to feel confident at the top end weights. So say you feel scared of the weight feeling heavy off the floor, then you can do heavy pulls. If you think the weight's going to be really heavy overhead, then you can do like loads of like heavy overhead squats. Or if you're scared of dropping to the bottom, do drop snatch. Or if you're scared of like catching a jerk, do jerk recoveries. Or if you're scared of the weight feeling heavy on your chest, on your shoulders, then do front squats or do jerk dips. The greatest thing about weightlifting is the fact that it is so scalable. Like, the most important thing is to practice and practice again and practice again and learn from all of the failures. So if you're going for a 1RM snatch and you miss it, think about why you missed it and reflect on that, but don't let it, don't dwell on it. Like, it's important to learn from it, not to beat yourself up about it, because beating yourself up and learning from it is a completely different, completely different issue. So those are the ways that I help myself feel more confident, or help myself believe in myself more within weightlifting. I hope that this helps you in some way with your journey in weightlifting, and that it helps you get PBs, lift more, be happier, be more confident, and I'll catch you in the next video. Everything about it.